Hello, this is Jeff. I wanted to follow up on a video I put out before and give some more detail about my thought process and how to build a successful business. I have spoken before about how I think Lyft Rewards can really help anyone achieve their goals, and it also enables you to cherry pick the right way. So, based on a lot of comments I got on the first video that was out there, I realized that I'm not going to get through to a lot of people because most people have their minds made up. It's like our society today. It's you're either with me or against me. There's no room for compromise. There's no room for debate, and there's no room for anything if you don't fall in line exactly with what other people think. I think differently. Again, Lyft and Uber, not my two favorite companies, still plenty of opportunity out there. So I just want to share some stats with you. And as I go through this, I'm going to tell you about some other things I do. So we're going to go to, this is my numbers for last week. So right now, I primarily use Lyft as a filler. I do non-emergency medical transportation rides. Sometimes I have a couple of hours waiting for a patient after I drop them off to pick them up. So I use it as a filler. Again, great reason to have elite level and get 6 stay-in area preferences a day. So I would set a preference to 5-mile radius of the person I just dropped off. I will open my app up to all rides, and I will just take every single ride. And if I make money while I'm waiting, it's a benefit. So this is what I did the week of October 20th to 26th. So you'll see I made $569, $34.95 per booked hour, 36 rides, online time 39 hours. Now I know right away the thought is, wow, 39 hours for $569. That's minimum wage. Flawed thinking. I'm a big proponent of cost per mile versus dollar per mile, because dollars per hour mean nothing when you're an independent contractor. That's not income, that's revenue. Then you have to subtract your expenses. More on that later. So you'll see I got 12 tips out of 36 rides, which is 33%, and the tips accounted for $60, which is a little more than 10% of my total earnings. Now to the breakdown. So yes, I was online for 40 hours, but I only spent 14 hours driving. More importantly, I drove 325 miles, top left, to earn $570. Now my costs per mile are just under 40 cents. So just using 40 cents per mile, my costs to operate my vehicle this week, all inclusive of everything, are 40 cents times 325, or about $128. Minus that from 569, and my real income, like if I had a W-2 job, is about $440. Once again, this is money I just made waiting for patients to take them back home. Yes, there was some reserve rides in there, and I will get to that as well. So that's not bad for something that I consider part-time. So I want to revisit rewards because I believe they're important. So I am elite. I already have 5,536 points as I am recording this on October 28th. So I already renewed elite for next month. And if you look at my stats, 5 rating, 96% acceptance rate, no cancellation rate, no safety flags. So I earn 3 points per dollar And that's how the tier points add up rather quickly. So I'm at the point of my evening, which I probably do almost every evening between 8 and 10 p.m., where I'm constantly checking scheduled rides. So you can see I have early access. So I have one ride booked for tomorrow morning, and this is the way I look at the ride. 11.50 for 6.6 miles. That's about $1.80 a mile. I would take that ride every day and twice on Sunday. Knowing that address is on the ocean heading to the airport, there's a very good chance at 4:15 a.m. there will be a flash turbo, and that will only increase. So now I go back to my area, I refresh, look at all those scheduled ride opportunities. All the ones that don't have prices are early access, meaning only elite drivers are looking at these right now before they get released out there. So now I'll scan them. $31 for 51 miles. Unless I had to pick somebody up at Harbor Inlet Drive in Southeast 17th Street, that would be a no. I don't even know what their algorithm is doing, but I have an idea. And to me, it has to do with a big problem that I mentioned earlier, and I talk to Sergio and Chris about all the time. Over the last couple of years, the focus is always on how much am I earning per hour? How much am I earning per hour? Well, Lyft and Uber rode with this, and it's a fallacy. So in their minds, you're driving an hour and 9 minutes. So you're making about $30 an hour. So they can say you can earn $30 an hour. But you're not. Because at 51.4 miles, for me at 40 cents a mile, my expenses on that ride alone are $20. So yes, I'm generating $31.16 of revenue. But that ride alone is costing me $20. So your actual income on that ride is $11.16. And if you go through all these reservations, most of them, if you figure out the hourly take, because that's what their algorithm is obviously based on now, but you still will find a lot of good rides in here. So I'll scroll down here real quick. 18.9 miles, $15 is about 90 cents a mile. If I had nothing else, maybe I would take that. $12 for 6.7 miles, possibility. $12 for 3.8 miles, possibility. Very good. That would be a definite take. And then you go on and on and on. And I pick the rides and I build myself a schedule. I also know where turbo is going to pop in my area, and that will only enhance the profitability. Another elite benefit, which I happen to think is great. And I constantly do that. And I do that also knowing what medical rides I have set for tomorrow, where I'm going to have the layovers. So I look for reserve rides up there. If I know I'm going to have a 2-hour layover 70 miles from my house. And by the way, a 70-mile ride on Wings Medical Transport is $1 per mile. And there's no dead miles because all of those rides are round trip. You just have to fill the 2 or 3 hours in between. So the one medical ride is $140 pay. And then if I have 2 or 3 hours where I could make $80 doing short in and out Lyft rides, Uber rides, Spark, I'm going to do it. That's how you plan a business. As some people have said, it's not pie in the sky. It's not pixie dust. It's using your mind, not sitting back and saying, oh my God, Lyft is only paying me this. They keep lowering my rates. Wah, wah, wah. When is Big Brother going to come and help me? Be proactive. Take the information that Uber and Lyft give you and turn it into a very profitable business. Can't wait for the comments. And again, if I help one or two people by doing this, I've succeeded. I know how to be a winner. I'm only trying to share what I've learned in 60 years of life. Do with it what you want. Thank you for watching.